SOFA Made Simple, the repo rate that runs Wall Street, created by Dr. Ramesh Deonaraine and narrated in AI voices, a product of Global Management Solutions, GMSINC.US, Solutions for Improving Lives. The Secured Overnight Financing Rate measures the cost of borrowing cash overnight in the Treasury repo market, and it's based on actual transactions data. Especially for those who are new to this, let's get clear on what is meant by the Treasury repo market. In a typical transaction in this market, a borrower provides U.S. Treasuries as collateral in exchange for cash and agrees to repurchase the same treasuries the next day at a slightly higher price. This agreement to repurchase the treasuries is what causes this transaction to be called a repo, which is short for repurchase agreement. Economically, this is pretty much equivalent to selling treasuries today and buying them back tomorrow, with the price difference representing the interest the lender earns. To illustrate how this works, here's an example. Imagine a company called Brainpower. Brainpower owns U.S. Treasury bonds worth $10 million. Brainpower needs cash for one day to cover payroll, so it arranges to do a repo transaction with Manhattan Bank. Day 1, today, Brainpower hands over, or sells, its $10 million worth of treasuries to Manhattan Bank. In exchange, Manhattan Bank gives Brainpower $10 million in cash. The agreement between these two parties is that Brainpower will buy back the treasuries tomorrow. Day 2, tomorrow, Brainpower repurchases the treasuries from Manhattan Bank for $10,001,111. That extra $1,111 is the interest Manhattan Bank earns for lending cash overnight.
The components of this transaction are as follows. First, collateral. The treasuries, $10 million, ensure Manhattan Bank is safe. If Brainpower failed to pay back, Manhattan Bank could keep or sell the treasuries. Next, the loan amount, $10 million, which is the cash Manhattan Bank provided. Then, the repurchase price, $10,001,111, which is the $10 million plus $1,111 interest. The interest, or repo rate, is calculated as 1,111 divided by 10 million times 360, which is about 0.04 or 4%. The convention in the repo market is to multiply the daily interest amount by 360 to get the annual interest amount.
All right, let's dive into how SOFA is calculated. The Secured Overnight Financing Rate, or SOFA, is administered by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, also known as the New York Fed, and the U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Financial Research, which focuses on delivering high-quality financial data. To calculate each day's SOFA, the New York Fed takes into account all eligible overnight Treasury repo transactions. What they do is order the day's transactions from the lowest to the highest interest rate. Then they get the cumulative sum of the dollar volumes of these transactions. The interest rate at which this cumulative sum reaches the 50th percentile of volume is rounded to the nearest basis point and published as SOFA for that day. So, this SOFA rate is essentially a volume-weighted median rate.
Now, here's a simple example of how SOFA is calculated. Suppose that on a given day, 4 banks borrow overnight cash in the repo market using treasuries as collateral, and their transactions are as shown on the screen. Step 1 is to order these by rate and compute the cumulative volume, and this gives us what is shown on the screen now. Step 2 is to identify the 50th percentile, or the median. We see that the total daily volume is $1,000 million and half of that is $500 million. The cumulative volume passes $500 million at the 4.9% bucket. Therefore, the SOFR for the day is 4.9%. So, you see, SOFR is not just the average of the interest rates at which the transactions occurred. It's the rate at which the cumulative volume of transactions reaches 50% when the transactions are ranked from the lowest to the highest rate, making it a volume-weighted median rate.
The New York Fed publishes SOFR daily on its website at around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The date stated for this data would be the prior business day. So, for instance, the data for November 4, 2025, was published at 8 a.m. on November 5, 2025. That day's transaction volume is also published, along with the 1st, 25th, 75th, and 99th volume-weighted percentile rates. The repo market is not open to the public. It is used by major institutional players like banks, broker-dealers, hedge funds, mutual funds, insurance companies, and large corporations. SOFR is calculated from transactions in the private repurchase market. It excludes repos conducted through the Federal Reserve's facilities, such as the Standing Repo Facility, SRF, and the Overnight Reverse Repo Facility, on RRP. These facilities are used by the Fed to manage interest rates and liquidity in the banking system. By excluding these, SOFR reflects the true cost of private market funding.
SOFR is one of the most widely used benchmark rates in financial markets. A benchmark rate is one on which the interest rate on other financial transactions is based. SOFR serves as the basis for pricing adjustable rate mortgages, commercial real estate loans, floating rate corporate loans, floating rate bonds, home equity lines of credit, private student loans, and interest rate derivatives such as swaps, etc. For instance, an adjustable rate mortgage might be priced at the 30-day average SOFR plus 2%, while a commercial real estate loan could be tied to the 60-day SOFR average plus 0.5%. From LIBOR to SOFR. For decades, LIBOR, the London Interbank Offered Rate, served as the world's most important interest rate benchmark. Each day, LIBOR was published for multiple currencies and maturities, reflecting the rates at which large banks said they could borrow from one another in the London interbank market. For each currency, the authorities managing LIBOR appointed a panel of banks to submit their estimated borrowing costs for the various maturities. If actual transactions were thin, panel members could submit expert judgment about what they believed they would have to pay. Despite this reliance on self-reporting, LIBOR became deeply embedded in global finance. By the mid-2000s, more than $350 trillion in financial contracts, ranging from mortgages and student loans to derivatives and corporate bonds, were tied to LIBOR.
However, in 2012, UK and US regulators revealed that several global banks had been submitting false estimates of borrowing costs, either to profit from trading positions or to appear more creditworthy. After the global financial crisis in 2008, unsecured interbank lending, the market LIBOR was meant to represent, dried up. Banks increasingly turned to secured financing, especially repos backed by government bonds or other high-quality collateral. Central banks supplied large amounts of repo funding to support liquidity. The once robust interbank market shrank, and LIBOR submissions were often based more on expert opinion than on real trades. As transaction volumes declined, LIBOR for various currencies and maturities were phased out, leading to a continued erosion of confidence in this benchmark rate. In 2014, the Federal Reserve Board and the New York Fed convened the Alternative Reference Rates Committee, a group of major private sector institutions, to identify a more trustworthy benchmark than LIBOR in the U.S. After reviewing candidates in 2017, the ARRC selected the Secured Overnight Financing Rate as the new benchmark. Unlike LIBOR, SOFR is transaction-based, calculated from many hundreds of billions of dollars in actual overnight repo trades each day. It reflects the cost of borrowing cash overnight, collateralized by U.S. Treasuries, in a market that is deep, liquid, and less susceptible to manipulation.
In 2018, the New York Fed began publishing SOFR. Market participants were encouraged to transition away from LIBOR, with regulators setting a firm timetable. On June 30, 2023, the bank panel that provided data for the US dollar LIBOR, the last one then in existence, was officially discontinued. From that date, LIBOR ceased to be compiled or published, ending an era that had shaped global finance for decades. SOFR had become the principal US dollar benchmark. Other jurisdictions adopted their own benchmark rates, like Sonia in the UK, Ester in the Eurozone, Tona in Japan, and so on, reflecting a global shift toward more transparent, transaction-based reference rates. Currently, as of November 6, 2025, over $3 trillion of the transactions on which SOFR is calculated occur each day in the U.S., and hundreds of trillions of financial products are based on SOFR. SOFR is a very robust benchmark.